I appear to be live. I mean, I'm alive, but I also appear to be live. I believe I have audio. Let's see. Audio, my little VU meter seems to be actually it's not one of these, it's one of these. So it seems to be going well. Oh, I do have a little fuzzness on the bottom of my window. Let me see if I can adjust that. There. Oh, and you get to see Mr. Rogers this way too. All right. So no guitar on screen, but we get to see the ponies, Mr. Rogers, and me. Hello, everybody. I hope that your day is awesome. My day is okay. Cody, how's it going? I decided that I still don't have my streaming system or my editing. I still don't have my big system yet, but I think that I just missed going live, and it's been like a couple weeks, so I thought I would just go live and just chit chat. I'm not going to try to work, record, and go at the same time. I'm not sure. Does my voice line up with my mouth? I don't know if that's the case. That's really been the issue for me. Is that when I talk and record for even for CBT Nuggets, the video and audio gets out of sync. Even if I adjust it, it seems to drift. And I know it's just my system dying, but it makes for a challenge. And there's no way I'm going to be able to stream and record and try to make everything line up. So it's just me. You get just me, not me talking about Nuggets staring off into a different camera. So I will just be here. I mean, Cody, you're in the U.S., right? So, I mean, after this week, maybe life will get a little less, oh my gosh, political signs and everything all over. And I don't know if you live in a swing state, but I've gotten more junk mail in the past couple weeks than I've ever gotten in my life because I live in Michigan and swing state. Oh my word. I am so ready for it to be over. Not necessarily taking this in a political bent. I think any political person, regardless of your political affiliation, can agree that it's ready to be done. Anyway, good morning, Matt, or 1T, as we call him around the office. Matt, do you dislike being called 1T, or are you okay with being called 1T? Anybody in chat can see probably why we call him 1T. Because he has 1T. It'd be kind of like calling Will Wheaton 1L. I don't know if he would go for that, though. More right than left. So, yeah, that's the thing about living in Michigan right now. Normally, Michigan is a pretty solid blue state. And I'm not saying that voting doesn't matter, but the politicians don't spend their money here. And so, yeah, right now, because it went red last time after being blue forever, now it's this big point of contention. So if you live in Michigan, you're getting inundated with ads and mail. And yes, text messages. Exactly. Oh, my goodness. Rain in the past few days. You know what? We have had rain for like 2 weeks straight, which is not common here. Matt is over in Oregon. I mean, I don't know if they get as much rain as we imagine them getting over in Oregon, but we've had so much rain. I think it's raining today. Maybe not. It is gloomy though. Yeah, it's not actually raining right this second. Now I'm curious if it's going to rain though. I'm going to look it up on the internets and see what's going on because yeah, whew. Yep, rain today. Sure enough. And then it's only cloudy for the next few days after that. Then thunderstorms. But this time of year, it is okay. I will admit, this kind of year is cool because sometimes thunderstorms turn into thunder snow, and that's just kind of a cool thing. Looks like we're going to get 2 inches of snow on Sunday here in northern Michigan, so that's interesting. It doesn't look like it's going to stick, though, because it is not going to stay below freezing after that. We're going to get back up into the 50s next week, so anyway. Oh, no rain yet over there. Been sunny and cold, but our typical weather doesn't usually begin until after Halloween. So, Matt, that actually makes sense because you guys actually had wildfire issues this year, which I know is a thing that you've had, but it was particularly bad this year. So does that mean that the rain is a season? I mean, you have a rainy season and a dry season. The rainy season, is that pretty much winter for you? Like rainy all winter? Cody, oh, in Oklahoma, yeah. We've had touches of snow. Like we've woken up with a dusting on the cars and the grass which is still green, has, snow on it, but it usually melts by like 10 a.m. But we haven't had our first big snow, although we have in years past had huge snows earlier than this. I remember the first like super big snowstorm we had, the earliest that we've had it is October 12th. And I know that because almost every year Facebook gives me one of those like time hop memory things or whatever they're called now, where they'll show this picture that I took of our back deck with like a foot and a half of snow, and it's October 12th. Oh, lost four cities that can breathe for. Yeah. It rains November through June. Okay. Okay. June through the end of October is pretty delightful. Yeah, the summers here are. I think we have a similar a similar climate when it comes to summertime. Matt, I'm not familiar with the weather in Oklahoma at all. I've never been to Oklahoma. I should change that, I guess. We do want to travel out west. Just to probably maybe get an RV. I think that'd be a fun way to travel out west. I don't know. But anyway, I lost my train of thought there. I think we have similar weather patterns to Oregon, especially in the summertime. It's, 70s, sometimes in the 80s, but usually upper 70s, usually pretty sunny, not terribly humid. Try to do. Oh, okay. So Trainer Palooza is when the trainers normally from all over the world go to Oregon for where the trainers come together and we do Trainer Palooza and we bond and we take photos and interviews and all sorts of stuff. So that makes sense why that's in June and why it doesn't usually rain. I mean, that's not true. Actually, usually when we're there, we'll usually get a day of rain, but usually just one day as opposed to rain every single day. I know, Matt, your RV looks pretty awesome. And I saw that you guys took a trip and, yeah, it just looked pretty cool. We didn't have an RV when our kids were young. Now our kids are grown. So probably a smaller RV would work for just Donna and myself to go on a trip. But anyway, yeah, that RV looked really awesome. You got rid of Vinny. Wasn't that the name of your van, Vinny? Got rid of the van and got an RV. I think that's a good step, man. I think that's going in the right direction. Oklahoma would be hot 1 minute. Do you get? And you said you get snow in Oklahoma. So is snow pretty common in Oklahoma? Do you get like a winter with snow, or does it stick, or all winter, or how does that work? Cody, do you get it like pretty much all winter, or is it just an occasional thing? I know in Oregon they don't get snow very often. They do get snow, but it. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Matt, but I think it's like a snow that turns into slush pretty quick, and then it's just kind of icky. So you already want a bigger RV. That's actually interesting to hear. Of course, you do have kids, but still, that's interesting. Okay, Matt, I have a question that may be inappropriate for live streams, but it's my live stream, so I say what goes. So the bathroom situation in the RV, you don't have like, I mean, it's half boys, half girls when you go on a camp out, but what does the RV toilet situation? Do you have to like dump that thing often? Is it disgusting when you have to dump it? Is it a pretty easy process? Do you find yourself not wanting to use the bathroom because you don't want it to fill up, or what's the situation there? Because I like the idea of having a travel bathroom, but I don't like the idea of having to clean poop, to be quite honest, or to dump it all the time, or every time I flush the toilet, we're like, oh, is it going to be too full? Not nearly as scary as people think. That's good to hear, because that's just good to hear. Now, do you shower in the RV, or just just use the toilet when you need to? And do you have like a kitchen sink? I didn't see inside of your RV, so I don't know what that looks like. Hit or miss with snow, Cody. That makes sense. That makes sense. And honestly, it's like that in Michigan a little bit. I mean, we generally get snow sometime in November, and it generally sticks until April. But it's varying levels of how bad it is. I mean, sometimes we'll have a green Christmas. Sometimes we get snow and then it melts. We get snow and it melts. Sometimes it starts in October and we don't see anything but white until the beginning of May. But usually we get snow that stick. We say, oh, we think this one's going to stick, meaning this one's not going to just thaw. Usually in November, that's when we usually get our snow that stays the rest of the winter. And then depending on the winter, sometimes we get many, many feet of snow. Sometimes it'll just be, a couple feet of snow that kind of sticks around, that sort of a thing. So you haven't showered since you purchased the RV. That's good to know. Maybe it's good that Trainer Palooza was canceled this year. Actually, I know what you mean. I'm just kidding. Hoping for a white Christmas this year. You know what? I love my wife. I do. My wife loves snow. She just loves it. She wants us to get so much snow all the time. And I would say, yeah, but she doesn't run the snowblower. She would run the snowblower. She would. It's just I run the snowblower. Um, I don't mind snow. I wish that our snowy season was smaller. It can be intense, like all of the intensity can be, compacted into maybe 2 months. That would be awesome. But once February rolls around, I am tired of winter. I would like it to be done, but it's just ramping up once February comes. February is usually our coldest and harshest month, and it's just, bleh. And then it takes months for everything to thaw. I don't know. I'm gonna stop whining. All right, your RV, it has sinks, microwave, showers, toilet, bed, dining area, bunk beds. The past weekend was our first all hookups at the site with sewer, water, and electric, and it was plush. So the full hookups, okay, okay, getting nitty gritty again here. Now I know that you can hook it up so that you don't have to then dump it. Does that completely bypass going into a storage tank and like everything just goes directly in, or how does that work? And then is the dumping process, do you feel like, wow, I need to now shower and refill this thing now that I've just done that? Or what's the situation there? It's Kobe Eugene who showers that. When we camp with all the hookups, it's a little less convenient to have to go to the city wastewater plant to dump the dumps, and all in all, it takes about 15 minutes. All right. Still fill your tank. So so we have a there's a couple places, but one particularly downtown, right by the waterfront. There's a park, an RV park, where people will go at the beginning of summer. They'll come in and they will basically pay lot rent on one of the spots that has full hookups, like water, sewer, electric. They'll plug in and they'll stay there all summer long. So do they have to like flip a switch to get it to pump, or is that all it takes? I mean, I see hoses coming out of the side and going into the ground. So do they like have to every once in a while turn it on to pump the stuff out, or what's going on there? I was assuming it was very low work once it was, in a full hookup thing. All right, so I guess that makes sense. Gloves and hand sanitizer makes sense. So my experience with RVs is watching the movie RV with Robin Williams. So you can imagine I'm a little bit hesitant about the idea. Every time it gets cold and RVs come to mind, I think of Cousin. Oh my goodness, yes. Okay, so that's my other RV experience. I have Cousin Eddie, and I have Robin Williams in the movie RV. So yeah, I think that maybe my insight on RVs is jaded, and maybe I shouldn't take that quite to heart, because I really like the idea. But here's the deal: if I were to go on a trip in an RV, I would not want to be afraid to use the facilities, right? I would want to consider it my bathroom where I could use at any time. And I know that if it were just the two of us, um, it wouldn't really fill up that quickly. I don't think. I mean, I'm full of it, but not that bad. RV in the movie with Cousin Eddie is why we're all scared. Yes, absolutely. National Lampoon, Christmas Vacation. I don't. I know Cousin Eddie, I think, is in a couple, but that's the one where he's out there at the street sign. Oh man, yeah, yeah. I'm nervous about it, but nonetheless. Uh, So what is going on? Oh, I talked about, or I mentioned in my tweet that I was going to talk about the future of my YouTube channel, and I guess we're on YouTube now. So I started doing stuff that I just wanted to do, and I've lost subscribers. I mean, it is what it is, right? When I'm on my way home from dropping the kids off at school, I have like 15 minutes, so I've been recording myself talking. And I enjoy it, so I'm going to keep doing that, I think. And I know that I'm going to lose. subscribers and my numbers will go down and my statistics, blah blah blah. I mean, it's not like my channel's monetized anyway, so I'm not. It's not like my livelihood is going to be affected. So I'm just gonna keep being me and have fun. I like doing tech tips, but that's not all I like to do. So yeah. What do you think, Cody? Does it bother you if I post things like my truck cam videos and me playing video games and tech tips and do some occasional water cooler Wednesday live streams? Or do you just not really like whatever I want to do? Matt, yeah, oh yeah, I did. I lost subscribers. So there's a couple times where I lost a chunk of subscribers. And I know I shouldn't even watch the numbers, but the very first time I posted the truck cam that was about meal planning, because it was something that, I mean, we have transient people, right? We have high school students. We have a married couple that's living with us now. My daughter and her husband are living with us. My wife and I, my wife is working. She gets called in a lot. She's a substitute teacher along with the regular classes that she teaches. So it's chaotic, and trying to plan that is tough. So I talked about that in truck cam, and like that day I lost like 6 subscribers. I mean, I gained some from other stuff too. It's fine. It is what it is. But yeah, when I do things other than tech videos, it's not terribly popular. So I guess I just need to find people who are weird in the same way I am. And maybe they're already both here. So yeah, people who don't mind talking about stuff like that. Rob, I like some channels which are targeted at tech tips, but also like the personalities behind them. Rob, that's kind of my thought. And here's why, I like doing tech tips. I do. I enjoy doing tech tips. Like yesterday, the robot, hold on, Uptime Robot. I sang the song in my head. I don't know if you saw the video, but Uptime Robot is something that I actually use. It's actually cool. It's useful. I like making tech tips like that. But I don't want to make myself like, no, that's not appropriate for my YouTube channel. No, my YouTube channel is just for this. I would like to think that my YouTube channel is just for this, as ugly or as off topic as that may be. So anyway, let me catch up. Interesting to have different perspective about things. I've been enjoying it. Good, I'm glad. I know some just want the tech stuff. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? And if people don't subscribe, it's not going to. I mean, it's not like, I don't know. It's fine, right? I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing. Like I said, it's not exactly my livelihood. It's something that I enjoy doing, and sure, it's correlated with my livelihood. I mean, I make video training, and I mean, I'm wearing a CBT Nugget shirt right now. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to have fun. If I want to be a YouTuber, I have focus channels. Yeah, that's the thing. If you look at like all the like how to grow your YouTube channel and be a YouTuber and make a living doing YouTube, you need to be a very narrow niche. Like the term niche down. Oh man, yeah, I don't wanna do that. Let's see. Yeah, channel's good and friendly. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just doing what I want. And you know what? Maybe someday a lot of people will say, hey, that Sean guy, he's weird, but he's kind of cool. I'd like to see him play with action figures more. I forgot that was the other thing too, right? The first time I posted the Team Awesome Sauce, for like a couple days, my subscriber count like stayed. Like I was getting a lot of subscribers, like new subscribers, and then like it leveled off. But hey, man, it's fun. Make a living doing YouTube. Yeah, some people do. Some people do. I wonder if they're enjoying themselves. That's the thing that I wonder. I don't know. It's a great platform to be able to express myself. So that's what I'm doing. And I don't know if you guys actually watch the Team Awesome Sauce, but I'm having so much fun with that. And I feel like a little kid when I'm playing with action figures, and then the puppies chewed the arms off Bruce. Man, I don't know. That was. Whew, I don't want to spoiler alert if you haven't seen them, but that was rough, and I didn't know how I was going to deal with that. Cliff Ravenscroft for years was a podcast answer man, and even rebranded as a Cliff Ravenscroft show. The focus him as expert in personality and specifics of podcasting. That's cool. While I follow some tech YouTubers, I also follow some homesteaders because it's good to know how to do things which could turn into hobbies. Yes. So I'm very eclectic about that too. Like I looked at like my YouTube subscribers, like where do I subscribe to YouTube? And like there's this guy who does random things with technology, like an old laptop, and he'll make like lamps out of the plastic sheet and stuff. And I'm really into solar power. Into solar power is not that. implies that I have a lot of solar powered stuff. It's something I really want to do is solar power, connected to my house and grid tied and all that stuff. So yeah, my nerdy takes and likes are fairly eclectic. And so I don't know. That's just what my channel's going to be. So it is what it is. I'd like to talk. I talk to a lot of them in my recruitment world, and like I say, I've met many that are enjoying themselves. It's constant work and constant chasing of sponsors, waits to monetize, etc. Oh yeah, see that's the thing too. And I mean, I'll call him out, right? I mean, Chuck Keith, Network Chuck, he's a great guy, but I know that running the YouTube channel is a full-time job, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, it's a lot of work, and maybe someday, I'll want to niche down. I don't want to niche down. Maybe someday that'll be appealing to me where I'm just doing this, or maybe I'll split off channels. I don't know. Right now, though, it's not like I have this giant base of people who are depending on me to do things for them, and I'm letting them down. I mean, if you guys get ticked at me, you can, not follow my stuff anymore, and we'll both be fine. But I don't know. I would much rather. Okay, this is gonna sound cheesy. I know, coming from me, that's a surprise. But I would much rather have a smaller community of like-minded individuals who are just like nerds on a wide variety of things, like interested in things that are really random and weird, but also don't mind collaborating via comments or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying what I'm doing, so I'm going to do it. Plus, I have a full-time day job, which is an awesome job, and Matt's looking for more people. Matt is our recruiter, by the way. Sorry to throw you under the bus there, Matt, but yeah, Matt's our trainer recruiter. So he watches YouTube. Watching YouTube is Matt's job. How weird is that? Can you imagine having a job watching YouTube for people? That's interesting. Anything about blacksmithing? About my ex stealing? He does blacksmithing so good, and his camera shots are really good. Yeah, I don't know. I love following eclectic people, and I understand. I do understand the draw for a really tight niche, right? Because being unique, I follow. There's a woman who follows me on YouTube, and so because she followed me and commented, I saw her YouTube channel, and she specifically reads Latin from the Bible, and will like even sing hymns in the original Latin on her channel. It's fascinating that somebody is so passionate about something so narrow, but it's just really cool. Plus, she lives in Australia and has a really cool accent. But nonetheless, no, tell the world. Okay, I'll tell the world that yeah, Matt's a creeper, but he's a good creeper. I don't know if there's a way to make sound creepy in a good way, but anyway, it's an interest, and so you invest money into it, and then it's a hobby. Oh yeah, I guess that's true. And looking around my office, I have a lot of stinking hobbies. And okay, so that's the thing too. My office is just full of drawers, full of electronic stuff that hydroponics is a hobby of mine. And now that winter's coming, I'll probably start doing some more hydroponic stuff. But I've got lights, and I've got pumps, and I got so much stuff. And looking around, as I get better at things, the things that I have get better, right? Like I have really crappy webcams, and now I have much nicer webcams. I don't know what to do with all the old stuff, and it hurts me to think about throwing them away. And then a lot of people are like, well, just sell them, sell them on eBay. But who wants to buy a crappy camera on eBay? And then I'd have to pack it up, and I don't know. I guess I'm just going to be a tech hoarder for crap. I hoard crap. I don't know. I should just throw it away, I guess. Anyway, in the podcasting world, that's the goal of shrinking your niche, is to find that tight-knit community. Yeah, I guess I get that, right? I haven't done official podcasting since Linux Journal went under. Kyle Rankin and I used to do, what did we call it? Linux Journal something. Well, we did Linux Journal Live for a while, which was interesting. That was before anybody was doing live streaming, but we did a Linux Journal Live for a while. Then for a while, I think it was just called the Linux Journal Podcast because we were pretty lame. But we would monthly get together, Kyle and I, well, not get together, but we would monthly communicate about that issue of Linux Journal. The nice thing about that podcast was we always had subject matter to talk about. It was only once a month, and I kind of wish that it was more often than that, but the nice thing is we would just literally look at the table of contents, and then we would talk about all of those things for the half hour or whatever that our podcast was. It was pretty cool. I liked having, we didn't have to do any prep time for that, right? We just had all the stuff because that's what the magazine was. I miss that. Plus Kyle, I don't know if you know Kyle Rankin. I don't think he has a big online presence. He writes books. He's on Twitter. But yeah, Kyle's pretty awesome. If I had time, would I do another Linux podcast? You know, if I could come up with, that is my niche, random geeky stuff. If I could come up with something that would have topics regularly, and also that either didn't depend on having guests or somebody else managed to get the guests, I probably would. I mean, you know, I did the important step, right? I bought a domain. For example, Ben Finkel and I have considered doing a podcast for quite a while now. The issue is we're not sure that we can come up with content week after week, or you know, every other week or every month or whatever, because our thought was specifically education, online education. I mean, it makes sense, right? We're CBT Nuggets trainers, both of us, but we weren't sure we could come up with something regularly and then to book guests and that sort of a thing. So we haven't done that. I might just do a podcast. I struggle scheduling people and coming up with topics. That's why I haven't done it. To be quite honest, it's because I don't want to be in a situation where it's like the day before it's due and I'm like, I don't even know what to talk about. I don't know. I don't know. What do you think? You know, and like put on Twitter, like, what should I talk about? Because I don't want to be that guy. Right. So yeah, I don't know. I like doing podcasts. I really enjoy talking with other people. So yeah, I could see myself doing that. And if Ben and I get our act together, we actually do communicate pretty well back and forth. I think that we can make a decent podcast. It's just coming up with topics and that sort of a thing. Yeah. So anyway. Oh, you guys doing online projects that I could check out and be a part of, or not be a part of? Not in a like that. I just mean, like, so what are you doing? I want to take over and do it. No, but what are you doing online? What are your projects? I'd love to check it out and learn more about the people who I've been chatting with this whole time. Not you, Matt. I know what you do. You weirdo. You creep people on YouTube. Ben will never get his act together. I know. So I did. I bought the domain nerdlings.net. Nerdlings.net is a podcast site just waiting for the podcasters to get their act together. So, and if you go there now, you will probably be like the third person ever to go to nerdlings.net. But it is what it is. So, yeah. Yep. All right. Well, it's going on the half-hour mark, and I told myself that I would talk for about a half an hour. I really enjoy doing this. I've seen some live streams with more popular YouTubers. I don't necessarily consider myself a YouTuber, but with more popular channels, and following the chat is difficult. So I love the not suitable for work system podcast. I do podcasts every other week. I'm gonna write that down to look for it. NS or work podcast. All right. I'm going to look for that. And then I lost my train of thought. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to continue making nuggets. This week there'll be another episode of Team Awesome Sauce, if that's your thing. If it's not your thing, there'll still be another one. Nothing online, sadly. I have first to keep our church's new live stream set up. Cool. Okay. All right. I know I said I was going to go, but I'm curious. Rob, what is your, do you still have a big, vibrant, like online only type people? Like I haven't been back to church because of COVID, because I have real serious health issues. But do you still find that there's a lot of people tuning in online for the church services that you are streaming? Just curious in that regard. So yeah, that's what's happening this week for me. Peace out, everyone. Always good to see you. Yeah, bye, Matt. I'll see you later. I'm gonna stop here in just a second anyway. This week, what's coming up on the Brain of Sean YouTube channel? Yeah, a new episode of Team Awesome Sauce Friday after school. I'm going to record myself playing a game. Have I shown I mean, I have so many stinking video game systems, like the mini one, like the Sega Genesis I did a thing on, but I also have the TurboGrafx 16, along with, I have the NES Mini, the Super NES Mini, I have a PlayStation 1 Classic, I have all these video game systems. I'm trying to think something that's interesting. I thought that TurboGrafx 16 would include Altered Beast. I thought that was one of their main games, but it's not on the console, and it doesn't look like it's super easy to add games to the TurboGrafx 16 thing yet. But you know, I wanted to compare the Sega Genesis Altered Beast to the TurboGrafx 16 Altered Beast, but I don't know, I'll figure something out. Games are something I'm not good at, but I enjoy. So yeah, I guess I'll go soon. Oh, good. We got what's this? Oh, I don't know what oops, something went wrong. Oh, not studio. So this is something interesting. The live stream thing, the live stream chat, if you click on links, it adds the word studio to the front, which I think is funny. You'd think that Google wouldn't do something that silly, but they do. All right. Oh, congregation nearly 200 years old. So a number in 50 when we were on site, and numbers are around 25 and 30 each week. All right. All right. Cool. So you are still getting people online watching, and you know, yeah, that's it's interesting, and I'm a little worried. You know, I mean, obviously numbers are going back up, and I just hope everything works out. Everybody stays safe, etc. Bonk's Adventure. Okay. I am going to go soon, I promise, because I really do have to get to work. But that's the thing. I've never played the TurboGrafx 16 at all, ever. But I know that they're like, their Mario, if you will, is Bonk. And there's like Bonk's Adventure 1, 2, 3, or whatever that are on there. So maybe that's it. Maybe I'll do their showcase Mario alternative and play Bonk. If you played, Rob, this is the last question, last time I'll go. Rob, have you ever played Bonk? And if so, is one of them better than the other? Or should I just start with the first one? That's my question as I close. Also, Cody, I loaded up your link in a window. As soon as I stop, I'm going to watch that before I go to work. So, so thank you for the cool link. I'm going to check that out. Bonk's Adventure. Yeah, I don't know. I hope that it must be a good platformer. I mean, they made sequels and it was their main thing. I think it was like Sega Genesis's Sonic. That was their little mascot guy, I think. I mean, that's all I can think of. When I think of Sega Genesis, I think of Sonic the Hedgehog. And then, of course, Nintendo is Mario. TurboGrafx 16 must be Bonk. PlayStation. What would PlayStation's be? I don't know what PlayStation's is. And a Crash Bandicoot is all I can think of that's specific to PlayStation. Oh, no, what is Ratchet and Clank? Is that Ratchet and Clank? Anyway. Start with the first one. Okay, I'll do that. And now I'm thinking about video games again, so that'll probably be coming out probably tomorrow, me playing some video game. And I'll thank you guys for the ideas there. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Eventually, once the new system comes in, I will be able to live stream and record at the same time. I just can't do that right now. I'm glad my lips have stayed in sync, at least moderately. And I'll see you next Wednesday, one way or another, whether it's something like this or a little bit longer. Thanks for chatting. I appreciate it. And I'll see everybody later.